recording.
Is
I
it?
think,
Oh my
normally.
God. Oh my
Yeah, that
God.
looks normal. If I actually look at my mic like I'm supposed to.
Like, oh, if you're talking to the mic the way you're
I'm
supposed
just
to.
gonna leave my mic up there.
No, John.
Oh.
Oh.
It just flat out was no.
We've just been doing this show long enough. It's time to get experimental.
Yeah,
with it.
I
Oh,
figure,
God.
like, the viewers
The viewers,
listening,
the listeners.
the viewers listening to this podcast.
Yes.
In honor of Brian Wilson, we're going to experiment with room mics instead of individual mics.
God. Not the boom mic again with the water element.
I can just hang them down from the fan, and then we can, I can mix it so it's like 3D sound, so people with good headphones, it's like we're surrounding them.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this.
It's like you're in the room with us. While
But
we're
surrounded.
Recording. Yeah.
Ominously.
While we're recording,
Yes.
Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 tabletop and horror podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and I'm joined by...
You set that one up.
I did.
You straight up set that one up.
I was ready.
This is John.
Hi, this is Sarah. Welcome to show. We are doing Banu Haqim Part 2.
Part 2.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. I don't know what the song's coming from. I'm sorry. I'm brain fried. I did the whole thing. It's thick.
The whole thing.
It's thick.
A thick lad.
Shockingly, a clan that is 2/3 nerds documented a lot of their own history. There's just a lot.
Huh. Weird.
So it's a thick baklava cake layer of just experiences in the world of Vampire the Masquerade. So usually, for those who do not know, hi, welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade clan deep dive series. We are going through each of the clans. We are getting close to the end of the series.
True.
So usually we break this down into 3 parts, which the first part is us talking about like clan vibes, ideas for character stuff, disciplines, all that kind of the goody fun peripherals. And then part 2 we would talk about like clan history and things going on in the current metapot for 5th edition, as well as some like character lore sheets and NPCs of major note. And then the 3rd episode would be a bonus fun time episode. The Banu Haqim episode history stuff is so thick. 2 and 3 are going to be the history, but we're going to make it fun.
So, I'm going to be for real.
Yes.
We all know you're
Yes.
not allowed to have fun in the Banu Haqim.
No, you're allowed to have fun.
You have to be studying or fighting.
Those can be fun.
Studying is fun.
Okay, you're not allowed to have, like, silly fun.
You don't know what the sorcerers are up
This
to.
is why we have to do a history episode for the bonus.
It gets spicy, though, and we're having special guests.
Oh.
I'm making it fun. So it's like,
Oh.
you know how we did the Week of Nightmares episode and
Well-
we had all the guests come on and read stuff? You should check that episode out, by the way.
You should.
Kind of doing the same thing, but like a mini version of that. There will be little treats throughout. And then also, you guys are going to have fun doing dramatic readings, too.
Ooh.
Because we have documentation. We have citations for things in the canon, which is...
Silly.
Makes me happy. Because it makes my job simultaneously extraordinarily easy, but then also I can't just like cut things out and hand wave them as, oh, that's conjecture. I'm like, shit, that's... Yeah.
It said it.
Yeah, it's there. So, yeah, strap in, guys. Big, chunky, thickums episodes. Ayo.
Hey. Oh. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, content warnings. War, genocide, xenophobia, Islamophobia, religious trauma, cults, occultism, and demons, colonialism, authoritarianism, arranged marriages, body horror, and current event issues.
Cool.
You know,
There's not that much going on there.
After doing the content warnings for the Zamitzi,
Yeah.
reading any other
really
content
not
warning
that
doesn't feel that bad anymore.
We're doing all right.
Yeah. So, the sources for this episode include, holy fuck, I wrote so many
boy.
things. I'm gonna try and go through this quick. Player's Guide 5th Edition, Camarilla 5th Edition, Cult of the Blood Gods, Forbidden Religion, Gehenna War, Sabbath, The Black Hand, Beckett's Jihad Diary, Clan Book Asimite Revised, Veil of Night, Lord of the Clans, VTM, Victorian Age, The Succubus Club, Dead Man's Party, and then I also threw in for the history episodes, Blood Sigils, Bloodstained Love, Chicago Folios, Dark Ages 20th Anniversary Core Book, Dark Ages Player's Guide to the Low Clans, The Book of Nod, Clan Book Asimite novel, because there's a whole series of novels for all the clans, guys, by the way.
Did they all get finished?
I don't know off the top of the dome.
I thought they did, because I thought all the clan novels tied in together to tell one meta story.
They do, so it's kind of annoying finding them because it'll be like clan novel part whatever, but it'll just be the one clan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continuing on with citations. Dark Ages, Tome of Secrets. Guide to the Sabbat, Encyclopedia Vampirica, Libelus Sanguine 3, Wolves at the Door, Gehenna, The Final Night, Guide to the Anarchs. And then I did some cursory documentary and lecture watchings of The Temples of Fire of Iran and Thousand-Year-Old Flames by David Adams. That's actually a really cool documentary if you want to go look at things in Iran.
Neat.
It's neat.
All
It's
right.
actually really cool. It talks about Zoroastrianism.
It's also a very cool name.
It is.
there.
It's metal as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also watched The History and Legacy of the Crusades and 100-Year History of U.S. Meddling, Coups, and War in the Middle East by Dr. Roy Casagrande. His lectures are actually pretty good just in general, and I kind of recommend them
Hell
as
yeah.
a source for history things. So, hell yeah. So we begin
And so we begin.
in the beginning with the antediluvian. Hakim, our
Whoop.
boy,
Here we go.
our lad, our dad, our tired dad. He is also referred to as Hakim the Hunter, Hakim the Judge, the Lawkeeper, the Ancestor, and the Blood Tyrant.
Cool.
I found notes saying that Western vampires call him Assam sometimes, but I've never seen it actually in any of the documents. It's just somebody mentioned that Westerners call him that for some fucking reason.
Maybe that was his fake identity when he was a spy.
He's got so many fake IDs. There's a lot of fake IDs that I did not list because it might matter for your table chronicle, but for the meta plot, didn't really matter that much, so I just cut it out.
I feel like you could just make a new one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if you're gonna
If you're gonna go to the trouble of making a fake ID, yeah.
make one.
So,
It's not a fake ID if everyone knows you go by Assam.
yeah, right.
That's a nickname.
That's a nickname. My brothers call me Assam fool. Anyways, there are several in-canon texts that chronicle the life and teachings and words and all of that of Hakim. So this is the most documented antediluvian out of all of them. Shockingly, when you make a clan where 2/3 of them are fucking nerds,
Yeah.
they take notes.
Right.
Shocking no one. So, given that, that's part of the reason why these episodes are the way they are.
Thick.
The two major in-canon books that are used to reference him the most is called The Parables of Blood or Book of Final Nights.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to throw
Neither
those
of
in your
those sound ominous at all.
game- Not at all.
No.
Not
Just
at all.
normal
The
stuff.
Book of Blood, is that what it said?
Parables of Blood.
Parables of Blood. Okay, I was like, damn. Okay.
And the Parables of Blood, kind of like 1001 Arabian Nights, is like a collection of stories.
Right.
So inside of Parables of Blood, you'll have things like chronicles of something. You can make subdivisions of the Parables of Blood smaller
Kind
if you
of
want,
however you want.
for whatever fits your game.
Yeah.
But I just like throwing in canon books just to as storytellers so they can go, I dropped this lore and you can watch players that know the meta plot shit a brick. It's just free real estate. Anyways, so for Hakim, there's two major storylines on how he came to be. The first one I'm going to talk about is he sired his own damn self and is technically the first vampire clan.
What?
Yep. So Hakim, when he was alive, according to this version of the origin story, was a noble warrior within the city of Anesh, which was also called the First City. And he worked to serve the city's king and queen. Everybody was like, Hakim's cool dude. We like him. He do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, fuck yeah, I do stuff. And then one day, Cain, the Anglicized spelling of the Arabized version of Cain.
Mm.
So they spell it Kayyin.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And I was like, but it's Cain. Cain Daddy walks in into the city and goes, hey, yo, nobles, I'm embrace you. So supposedly this king and queen were his first children that he had ever made, according to this version of the story.
Oops. Wasn't one of the origins for Ventru a couple? King
Yes.
and queen? Okay.
Also for Toreador.
Yeah.
So this gives some like possible support to the claims of Cain embracing the lovers
Yeah.
from the other origin stories. So I'm
Right.
like, cross support.
Yeah,
Neat.
interesting.
So, Cain embraced the king and queen. The vampire curse does what the vampire curse does. And Hakim, being the noble leader, military guy that he is, he's like, shit, dog. This is bad.
They maybe shouldn't be like that right now.
Yeah, it turns out when you turn your absolute monarchs into ever hungry terrible people monsters that might be bad, in fact, TM.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So Hakeem...
Kane doesn't really think through many decisions.
No, he kind of just does things on a vibe.
Yeah.
It seems. Hakeem thinks through things, though, and he went, okay, I got a plan. I got a scheme. I can Bethesda no-clip my way through this problem. So what he does is, because the king and queen are also making childer, and there's a bunch of people in the court that are... He's like, I don't know who to trust. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Da-da-da. So he gets the squad together. He gets a crew. And then he's like, all right, guys, I got a plan. We got to go kill the king and queen. That's the only way to stop the vampire problem.
Whoa.
And they go, okay. So they go do that. They kill the king and queen. And then Hakeem goes, okay, I'm going to slit my own damn throat. Hear me out. So he slits his own throat. And he almost dies. But the thing is, he has the crew, and the crew knew the plan. And the plan was, all right, once he's almost dead, we're going to start just piping in the vitae of the dead vampire king and queen into Hakeem.
Okay.
So then he can become a vampire.
Okay.
Because that is the only way to have somebody strong enough to defeat Kane, because that is the only way we're going to stop vampirism.
Ah.
By making
Interesting.
our own vampire.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he's like, okay, well, if I do this without the influence of Kane being there, maybe I'll be strong or independent enough that I could kill this man.
Right.
So Kane found that the next day he showed up and was like, hey, my homies, where are my children at? So he was pissed.
Fair.
And then he finds Kane and he goes, hey, you.
What'd you do?
What'd you do? Naughty. I'm going to have to kill you now. And then, Hakeem went, all right, bet. But unfortunately, he just was embraced, and even though he's technically second gen, he's still baby bad, so he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
And then Kane yeeted his body into the desert. It's like, all right, I'm mad. I've got my revenge. Yet I'm done with this.
Just tosses him and leaves.
Yeah, and then the crew goes, okay, we got our homie, and they scuttle him off to a cave to go heal.
Mm.
And then Hakeem's like, okay, I need a new strategy. He's like, okay.
Turns out Dad's real strong.
Turns out Dad's real strong.
He's got that farm strength.
Yeah, Kane's got hands. So he's like, okay, so me and my homies are now gonna scuttle off into the desert, and I'm gonna embrace a few and train them up so I have proper soldiers, and I'm gonna train myself up, and then I'm gonna come back for a round 2, motherfucker.
Let's go.
Yeah. So the time it took for him to do this, the first and the second city both rose and fell. And basically this basically sets the Banu Haqim on a parallel, okay, it's a little uncomfy. So in the canon of vampire, they call the War of Ages the Jihad, which is, the different generations of vampires constantly fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the most culturally sensitive way to be referring to that, but that's what they used, so it's in the book. But yeah, so the regular vampires for the War Ages took part in the whole 4th gen were fuck you, Dad, we're gonna kill the 3rd gen, and Kane got angry, I hate you babies, curse.
Mm-hmm. Tisk.
Yeah, Hakeem did his own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hakeem had gone off and healed and done all of his stuff. Kane was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna try this again, question mark.
It kind of makes sense from what I'm looking up for the word jihad, literally, also for both versions of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the anglicized definition is literally just a struggle or fight.
Yes.
Whereas the more traditional definition is to exert strength and effort, to use all means in order to accomplish a task.
Yeah, it just is one of those in English, because we have generally a bad understanding of things from Arab and Islamic cultures. People hear jihad and they think all those terrible terrorist jokes from the aughts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to avoid that. But if you're using it as in the way it means, where it's an eternal struggle, if you will, it's applicable and makes sense. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So. Side note, thank you, Oxford Dictionary and Wikipedia, for those last-minute definitions. I just wanted to peep into that.
Yeah, so basically, the Banu Haqim are also dealing with the War of Ages problem, but theirs is more, and according to this origin stories, based on trying to prevent the evil of vampirism spreading, as opposed to, fuck you, Dad, I'm going skateboarding.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the fun one. That's the fun one. The second one, which is the one I think that's more fun, is option 2. Kane was just cursed with competency. He's just good at what he does, and the plot constantly is punishing him for it. So in this alternative version of the origin story, during the times of the first city, Hakeem was a skilled nomadic warrior and hunter who eventually just was like, I'm tired of war, I'm tired of fighting, this sucks. I'm gonna go learn how to read.
I'm gonna go learn how to read.
I'm gonna go study things. I'm gonna become a learned man. So that's what he did. In his mortal life, he is written to have traveled through North Africa, the Fertile Crescent, and into Asia. It's interesting with the first city because it's written in a way where it sounds like hunter-gatherers and nomadic tribes were still a thing during that time. So that's kind of where in the human timeline the first city is in the way, way, way far backs. Like 1500, 1600, or 15, 16,000 years ago. Like way in the far back machine. Which I think is neat.
Mm-hmm.
Back when the Sahara Desert was still bog.
Neat.
But yeah, so for Hakim, word of his talents and skills, both as a hunter and a warrior, as well as being an intellectual, spread amongst the children of Cain and random humans, and they're like, yeah, Hakim, cool guy. So one of the vampires went, oh, he's cool. I'ma embrace that.
Come here, man.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you seem cool and competent and skilled. Come here. You.
Love it.
Yeah, you're on the team now. What? It is indicated that his sire is most likely Inesh/Enoch, which would make him cousins with Arakel and Malkov.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of why, like, that might be an explanation for why those three clans tend to be the most chill with each other.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, which is kind of like, neat. So after the embrace, Hakim took up the name of Hakim. He wasn't called that before. There's no record of what his name was from when he was alive.
Great job, nerds.
Nerds.
Thanks.
Well, it was like potentially 15,000 years ago.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Written language might not have been as much of a thing.
I don't know if the paper would have survived.
Okay.
That's so long
That's
ago.
why you use stone.
That's fair. Oops. How else are we going to get that receipt about how shitty somebody's copper is?
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, after the embrace, Hakim's just like, I'ma still do me. So he just kind of was like off by his own, just like, I just want to study, man. I just stop. I don't want to be fucked with. Hakim did take it upon himself to protect the first city from invasions, but he mostly spent his time like traveling and tending to his childer, which were the viziers or the scholars first. He just was like, look, I just have my little pot of nerds. I am also a nerd. I'm gonna go on a walkie, and then I'm gonna come back and train my nerds, and that's kind of all I want to do. I'm just gonna be in my own corner. Which is not helping with the autism claims. I'm just like, this man just reads autistic as shit to me. It's very funny. So first city came around, that didn't go well. So when the second city came to be, the seeds for the War of Ages, as the jihad as it is, were to start to sprout. The other third gens eventually turn to all of them, go to Hakim and go, hey man, we want you to keep the peace between us because we keep fighting. And also, the children we have are getting out of hand. And we don't trust any of each other because we're constantly backstabbing each other and doing crazy shit. You're kind of in the corner with your bionicles, minding your own business.
Could you come here?
Could you be in charge of, like, making sure we're all kept in check? And he's like, no, I don't want, no.
Okay, but you're gonna do that, thanks.
Yeah. It's kind of, there's a couple of different versions of what eventually, like, pushes him over into agreeing to this, but, the most popular theorem is that Saulot walked up to him and went, hey bro, hey. You know, if you don't act like the one, like the judge and the cop of us, a lot of humans are gonna die. Just so many mortals. They're just gonna get slaughtered. Because none of us care. And
because none of us care.
And that's the thing that pushed Hakim over to being like, alright, fine.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess. So, he shifts from being Hakim the Hunter to Hakim the Judge, and in agreeing to do this, he stands up from his bionicles, fucks off for a couple of years, and comes back with a little squad of judges, of, like, warriors.
Oh.
So he just went out and was like, alright, I guess I'm gonna go do a training montage for my new hyperfixation.
We must be swift as the roaring river.
Yeah!
We must be quick as the great typhoon.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I guess I gotta do this now. So it brought back the warriors to be like, okay, we're gonna keep the peace and stuff, and most of the time that went well, sometimes it didn't, which is where we get the first documented case of a diablerie ever.
Oh.
So it turns ever, which is apparently
not counting when he slit and drank his.
That's a different timeline.
Okay, different time.
Yeah, this is the timeline where he got embraced normal because one of the second gen went, hey, you seem like you know what's up, chomp. And he's just like, God, fuck, I just.
Not so happy about that, guys.
No, I guess I'm gonna go be a nerd. Hey, Hakeem, we need you to suit up. And he's like, I don't wanna.
Look at all these bionicles. I'm in the middle of making the panther real quick. Can I finish this at least?
They're like, okay, we'll let you finish that, I guess, but so many people are gonna die. Keep a pin on Sauron. That's gonna come back.
He tends to.
He tends to.
Do Banu Haqim naturally have celerity? I can't remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the idea of him. He's been taking his time making all these bionicles because he likes them doing it. And they're like, okay, but so many people are going to die. And he's like, fuck, and activates celerity and just puts them all together. And then it's like, okay, let's go.
Just like, you could have just finished it. It's like, I like taking my time.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic. So yeah, with one of the judges apparently got a little overzealous or jealous, or it's left up to interpretation. Got a little too into doing his job, as cops are wont to do.
Yep.
A cab. Anyways, so apparently this judge went a little overboard and consumed the entirety of Amarantha, who is a childer of Arakel, which is why the Diablerie is sometimes referred to as the sin of Amaranth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so there's that. And then we get into what will be a recurring theme throughout this episode and the next one, which is motherfucking Infernalists.
Motherfucking Infernalists.
So note, I will be saving the finer details on some of these incursions due to the official read for the Bali will be in 5th ed when that the Tattered book drops.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are several in canon big battle events that involve fighting the Bali and Infernalists. And I was going to throw it in the script, and now I'm like, this girl's already so thick, and we got the Bali coming up officially in V5, so I'm going to shove it for that.
Right.
So, sorry, guys. So they'll be name-checked, and we'll move on. And if you want more information about the Bali, go check out the Salubri episodes. I talked about them over there, too.
You know, I like that the Bali, are...
Kind of the worst TM?
I was about to say, if there is an objective quote-unquote bad guy in World of Darkness, Bali is up there, I feel like. Like, I don't think that any of the clans we've ever covered are like, yeah, we'll work with them.
I mean, people do, but usually in that kind of, like, Devil's Deal thing, and I mean, there's people I know in the fandom that are like, well, are the Bali actually the bad guys? And I'm like, have you read the book with the ritual where SA is, like, required as a component?
Oh.
Rough.
Yeah, it's bad.
Is that the of Persephone?
No, that's a thing for the necromancers, the Hakata. But that one also is
fucked.
Yeah, but we'll get to
that's another
later.
day.
That is later in my timeline.
Oh no.
It's staring at me ominously. All right, so there's about 200 years of peace, like, with he being like, okay, I've trained this squad up, we're roaming the city, we're making sure folks are not just doing a murder and a stab all the time, things are chill. But then there's this slow and steady uptick of mortals and vampires having demonic powers and influences, and it was just causing problems. We're just like, one demon, that's crazy, dog. 2, 10, fuck. Oh no.
It's exponential. What's happening?
What's exponential? Okay, hold on. I have to explain what algebra is.
All right, let me get my abacus.
My stabacus. Haha.
Aha! It's an abacus with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes. Or they just throw the abacus hard enough, it does a stab.
It does a stab.
Hell yeah. But since no one was skilled enough really to handle the Bali, Hakeem sighs yet again and leaves the city to go embrace and train mages.
Oh my god.
So he goes out in the desert, finds some mages, and goes, hey, do you want to fight demons? Do you want to be immortal? Sick. Squad
Let's
up.
go.
Let's go. I'm building a team. He's like Charlie from Charlie's Angels in like the weirdest way.
Okay.
What's his nuts promotions level? I'm building a team.
Love it.
Aldo Rain from fucking Glorious Bastards. Just like, there's a problem. I gotta build up a squad.
I love it. That's like his go-to, it seems.
Yeah. So this is where the sorcerers come from.
Got it.
Which is why they're technically the youngest cast, and they're also like the least numerous. Yeah, but their magic, so they figured out the magic Bethesda no-clip thing.
Yeah.
It is noted in the text that the Salubri also had skills to fight the demons, but somehow it also wasn't enough TM. So the sorcerers of the Banu Haqim and the Salubri worked together to defend the city with the first actual accounts of blood sorcery.
Oh.
It's also left a little vague on if the Bali were the little sad guys that Salat made in the well or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I'm just imagining Salad being like, oh no, the demons. Damn. Eating an apple to look even more like an asshole. You should do something about that, Hakeem. It's crazy, dog.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
It's a real problem.
Lights a cigarette.
Salad's the worst. Ugh. We'll get more into why he's the worst as the episode goes on.
We already have plenty of evidence.
Oh, it gets worse.
Goddamn.
Every time I'm like,
Why?
I have found the depths of how fucked up this character is. I turn a log over and there's like, new isopods of problems. I love this. So, there's about 1,000-year span of peace where the Bali have been defeated.
Woo,
Huzzah.
good job, guys.
And most of the Banu Haqim remain in the second city, and then Hakeem takes up traveling.
Oh.
Because he gets bored.
I guess, if your judges and your mages and whatnot are doing a good... Yeah, they got it down.
You just want a war?
Yeah,
celebrate.
Yeah, it just, again, this reads like he's on the Audi ADHD spectrum where he's just like, I'm bored.
I'm going to go over...
There.
That way.
Yeah, and he just goes.
Nice.
Like, yeah. I bring you back tchotchkes. So he fucks off for a while. Then we get to the Battle of Charazel and the Second Bali War. The second one.
Yay. I guess.
This turns into a series
Bali
of...
are like bed bugs.
Yeah, it's like, how many times I gotta teach this lesson, old man?
Yeah, you just need one fucking bed bug. And then, like, if you don't stamp it out quickly, you got a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. So, the first city to fall in the Second Bali War is the city of Charazel due to strange magics. There was a whole fun situation of Salubri being like, hey, we haven't heard anybody from the city. We're gonna send some of our warriors to investigate. They're all never heard from again.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, not long after that, the second city was full-on assaulted by a barrage of the Bali.
Oh.
They did have 1,000 years to regroup.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they used it. The Salubri and the Banu Haqim forces were aided by Ventru and La Sombra allies in the second city, but almost all the entirety of the Banu Haqim were wiped out during this war. It's like, that's how bad it was getting.
Oof.
And then a new challenger arises, if any of you want to read that.
You want me to take this one?
Sure.
And you can do the next one. All right. A tiny figure, blackened and charred, its eyes burned from its skull, emerged into the flickering light of the single torch that a ghoul had managed to keep burning. Hakim sends me, it whispered. I am Earl Shagi, and I am of the blood. Asimite Revised, page 14.
Oof.
Yep, that's the first documentation of our boy.
What's up, Earl?
Earl.
Hey, Shugi.
Aw.
Yeah!
So Earl Shagi is small. I always pictured him as just like a very scary, towering dude. Instead, he's like...
he's small.
Does-
He's like
so he does the
maybe a teenager.
Oh, okay. I see.
Or was a teenager.
So he does the thing the drill sergeants do if they're shorter than you, where they just get as close as they can to you and look straight up, so you have to look straight down in an uncomfortable way while they're yelling at you.
Eventually he gets old enough that he doesn't need to do that. It gets like the starting description of him is already horrifying.
Fucked, yeah.
That's fucked. He starts there. And it only gets worse.
How'd he get there? I wonder how he got all charred and burned and whatnot.
Yeah, that's just a little vague. There's
Okay.
some unpublished material that gives an explanation. I'm not as a big fan of it personally as a storyteller, but if other folks want to look it up and use it, go for it.
Okay.
But it's like not officially published material, so do with that what you will.
Sure.
But I also think just leaving it up kind of vague is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We do get some clues about what might be going on with him as we go progress.
Cool.
But just know, things with Urushiki start bad, night one.
Yeah, that's not so good.
They're just like, why are you quispy? Anyways.
Things have been kind of toasty around him.
Yeah, so with the powerful magic of Urshigi and all the forces were able to rally together, they're able to survive that onslaught and 3 more over the centuries until the Bali were finally defeated again.
Damn.
This is a big deal in the ancient canon. You can actually run whole chronicles just based on the Bali Wars if you so desire.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat. It's cool. We'll get to it when it's published.
Hell yeah.
So, over the centuries of war, we have the fun of Hakim just getting disillusioned with violence and fighting yet again.
So he came back around to like, well, this is kind of fun and cool. And then he's, after 3 centuries or whatever, he's like, fuck, all right, I have stabbed somebody every single way I can think to stab somebody.
It's also just like, I'm tired of watching like my childhood get slaughtered and
there's
innocent
that
people
too.
getting slaughtered. Like, this sucks. War sucks. Like, yeah, in fact, war does suck, TM. It's in fact bad. So between that and then the constant bickering with all the vampires, and then there was the issue of overtime. It seems that the Banu Haqim as a clan has a really decent structure, but because Hakim doesn't have a very like strong authoritarian hold on his childer, some of them get kind of squirrely and they act a fool, and then he gets upset and mad at them. He's just like, why are you? You have a job. Why aren't you doing your job? Why are you fighting? Stop acting. You know better. What? Why?
It's like that boss who doesn't really do their job, but also doesn't really fire people.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Like, he does his job, but you know what I mean? He's not, like, actually keeping people on task. It's more just like a...
Yeah.
I guess Derek didn't sweep again last night.
Oh, well.
But yeah, we have an account of eventually Hakim gets tired of everybody's shit.
Nice.
And here's where the first bit from Wombat will go. I'll leave it to you guys if you want to read it.
The crisis that confronts us tonight is one of duty.
The crisis that confronts us tonight is one of duty. We know ours. Our cousins made it plain in nights long past, and though they may scorn us, our charter of justice has never been revoked. We, then, must seek new ways in which to administer it, as the methods that we have pursued in the past are no longer the best tools for the trade. They tell us the city is dying. We shall leave it to its death throes then. We will go forth into the war-torn lands, the deserts, the mountains, the harsh, barren places that no others would claim as their domain. There we will preserve the memory of these nights against the ravagers of time. We will watch, and we will study, and we will wait. And when the need for our justice once again becomes so great that we cannot stand idly by and watch our cousins' acts, we will come forth, and memory will be our spear. Assamite Revised, page 15.
Alright, I paused. I'm sorry you missed out on all of John's beautiful singing, but thank you, Wombat, for reading that.
Yeah, thanks, Liam.
I think that started out as almost pop punky, but I think it accidentally ended on like freeform jazz.
It definitely gave the energy of, you know when they turn animes into a musical? And it's like a shonen anime, and you're just like, why the fuck is this a musical?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
But not Wombat's reading. Good job, Wombat.
No. They did fantastic.
They did good.
Yes.
Hey.
Anyways, Alamut. It's an actual place, guys. It's real. You
That's
can
neat.
touch it. The original Alamut Castle was founded in 840 in the Common Era on top of a mountain in northern Iran by Wasadan ibn Marzaban. It's Persian. I'm not good at it. I'm barely good at Arabic. Persian's a whole other problem. I'm trying. Right. So the tale is that Wasadan basically witnessed an eagle nesting up on a mountain, and he went, bet.
That's the one.
That's one. That seems like a cool place to put a castle.
I mean...
And it's like, strategically, it's like, you know what, honestly, yeah, it was kind of a good place to put a military base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the term Alamut translates to either eagle's nest or nest of punishment. I have no way to verify if that is true. But those were the two translations I was told were there, and I went, oh, okay.
I like that.
I like that eagle and punishment are similar enough words
That
that
we're not
it
sure.
can be either.
We just don't know.
Yeah. The translations I saw said, like, well, the local dialect, which I'm like, I'm expecting there's, like, a regional version of Iranian.
Yeah.
That maybe that's what the translation difference is there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not an expert. Go ask an Iranian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go find somebody who actually knows the shit. I'm just delivering information as best as I can find it. So yeah, this fortress was captured by Hassan ibn Sabah and his Nizarine forces in 1090 CE. The Nizari are Shia Muslims that have focuses on independent reasoning and social justice, and that's kind of their bag.
Hello.
And the fortress was not only rebuilt, but also contained a huge library when he took it over.
Hello.
But the forces that this Hassani had is part of the reason where we get, like, the Hashashin assassin. Basically, the reason we have the word assassin in fucking English is we bastardize this man's name as well as, like, the military organization he ran.
Nice. Great job, guys.
Yeah. So just a lot of ideas we have about vaguely swarthy Middle Eastern folks doing a stab for money. It's from this thing.
Nice.
That a bunch of the Europeans in the Middle Ages just vaguely understood, and then they got into a big tizzy about, oh, what if they send assassins after us?
Oh.
Which, reading about ye olde fears about assassins reads a lot like current day fears about, like, what if they're a terrorist? And I'm like,
God.
I'm like, he just makes shawarmas, ma'am. Like, it's fine. Why are you so spicy?
They're delicious.
Have you ever had a falafel? A tabbouleh once in your life?
Excuse you.
Excuse you. Look, he just likes putting mint on a salad. It's fine.
Mm.
But
Dude, I'm hungry.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk about the food.
It's okay.
All right, so the Nizari maintained their state and forces in the region until the Mongol invasion of the 1200s, because the Mongols fuck everything up for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
They did a very good job of doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah. So yeah, that is where all of that comes from in the real world history. You can go look up Alamut to go look at it on YouTube. I found a bunch of travel vlogs of Iranian people because it's still a tourist thing. You can just go look at the ruins of the castle.
Cool.
It's pretty dope. And you can see where there's a lot of inspo for Assassin's Creed, based on the design of the castle and stuff. So
That is cool.
So if
That's
you're
nice.
interested in that video game franchise, it's also just another cool history thing to go check out.
I
So
feel like I
hurrah.
should play that.
I'm shocked you haven't.
I think I played like 8 hours of the first one.
It feels super up your alley because so much of the game is you climb and then you hide amongst people and you do a stab and then you throw yourself into a bush.
I mean, that does sound pretty fun.
It's pretty much just historical parkour.
Mm-hmm.
And then
with
a stab.
stabbing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The new ones also have history modes where you like
Yeah.
literally just walk around and it shows you like the history of like locations. And
Cool.
stuff.
Yeah. It's like, I don't like the company that does Assassin's Creed because they do fucked up
Who is it?
practices. My brain deleted it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know they've
That's
had
okay.
a bunch of... They have that AAA game problem of not taking care of their workers and doing crunch and
Uh-huh.
microtransactions, and go watch a Stephanie Sterling. She will tell you all of the problems. It's not Square Enix. It's
I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's fine. I don't care. Fuck that company. But the games are cool insofar as when they do the history modes of the cities, they've actually like gone and done like actual really good like mappings of the cities to the point that people who play Assassin's Creed games can go to the cities that the games are set in and walk around and not get lost,
Cool.
which is actually kind of cool.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
I mean, kind of fuck almost all of the AAA gaming companies.
Yeah. Pay your workers.
Yeah.
Stop hiking your game prices.
Thanks.
Pay your workers. Anyways, so in
Thanks.
terms of the VTM lore, Hakim settled upon the locale of Alamut in the canon in the most anime magic girl way possible. It's the only way I can explain it, which was
He jumped up into the air, did a spin, became naked, and changed outfits.
kinda, but it was like
Oh.
the masculine version of a magic girl moment, but it's kind of the same thing, which is Hakim and the squad are walking through the mountains, trying to find a new place to settle. Hakim looks up into the night eye, locks eyes with a black eagle. They become best friends. Which is true. He just has the eagle now.
Okay.
That's just a thing Hakim has. As an eagle best friend.
He still
Nice.
has an eagle friend?
Yeah.
To today.
Yes.
That's a Gould eagle.
Cool.
He has, it's thousands of years old. As far as I can tell, yeah, he's still got that fucking eagle.
Golden eagle, hell yeah.
And it just went like, he literally did the meme of, they're my best friend now, we're getting soft talk, like literally. But yeah, locked eyes with his eagle. They became best friends, and he went, here, this is where we will build Alamut. Stabs the ground with his spear, but he stabs the ground so hard that the black throne of Alamut emerges from the ground, and then they're able to like shift the rock and do all sorts of blood sorcery weirdness to make Alamut.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's such a shift tonally from Hakim just doing like all the studying and duty and work and yada. I guess he did go out to the desert and like level grind to get magic powers to go fight demons.
Yeah.
So like I guess sure, he earned it.
Lad is a little bit wild.
I just. The way it's written, it's like, man, it wants to be taken so seriously. Like, yeah, he locked eyes with this eagle and he knew. And I'm like, what?
He just looked up a mountain and stared at a bird.
And him and the bird just fucking best friends. And
Him and the bird did the predator meme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
But it's also just weirdly cute.
Yeah.
We're just like, it's my best friend.
Too good.
Yeah. So there's that. So, within Alamut, there's a couple of things of note in there that they will come up later in the canon. So, things to be aware of. One, as I said, the Black Throne of Hakim. This is a solid black stone throne, maybe granite, maybe obsidian. That is the seat of power for the Banu Haqim, and it's often featured in many Gehenna prophecies.
Mm.
So this will come up a lot. Has been mentioned before in previous episodes.
The Black Throne is ominous.
It is ominous as
It
shit.
goes well in a prophecy.
It does. It's also hard as fuck.
Also,
Yeah, it's granite or
Yeah.
obsidian.
Yeah.
obsidian's like glass though.
Yeah.
It's hard glass though, isn't it? I used
It's
to have
like
those
hard and brittle.
obsidian.
It would hurt if you got hit with it.
Those obsidian hangers that I
Mhm.
got. One of them broke because I was walking quickly and my necklace came up and ding,
Whacked it.
whacked it, and half of it just fell out of my ear and the other half was in my ear, and I was like, this is mildly terrifying because
It's glass.
it's glass, and when it breaks, generally obsidian breaks pretty sharp.
Yeah, well, like, obsidian, when it breaks, it creates such a fine edge. I know that there's, like, surgeons still that will use, like, obsidian for certain tools.
Yep.
It's a hell of a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of hell of a things, there's also Well of the Heart's Blood.
Hell yeah.
This is a great well of vitae from the veins of the various Banu Haqim from over the centuries.
Okay.
Those who have not donated vitae to the well remain usually unaffected by magics that are used upon the well. And any specific Banu Haqim's blood that has been placed into the well may be summoned to be used for rituals that affect them specifically.
Oh,
So once you put your blood in, you can then be summoned to it.
Summoned to it, or if somebody wants to do a ritual to, like, spy on you, or make you have a feeling or a thought, or have effects.
Okay.
Keep that in mind, storytellers. When you have Banu Haqim players, you go, okay, how old are you?
yeah.
Did you go to Alamut? Did you put anything in the well? Okay, cool, I'll hurt you with this later.
So can
Every once in a while, something nice will happen.
can like general spells happen? Like someone do something nice for everyone who's blood in there?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a benefit and a curse. It's
It-
not just
it-
like this is thing we do. It'll probably suck later, but
It could be good, it could be bad, it could be one of those, like, hey, you suddenly are, like, buffed, but that also means all of the problematic Banu Haqim are also buffed, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, this is cool. Oh, no.
Oh, damn.
Shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's one of those mixed blessings. Teehee. Then I'm just throwing this in because I think it's cool. Go ahead.
I feel like that's really close to Well of Sacrifice
Mhm.
with the Khaldun thing.
Mhm.
Not quite. I'd be interested to like learn how they made the well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I didn't find a lot of information.
Okay, that's cool.
started putting their
Just curious.
blood in a well and see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what the Zamitzi do, so I guess that's fair.
Yeah, it's because the Banu Haqim sorcery is based on Hakim embracing mages.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue, wow, the Banu Haqim have been doing blood sorcery for clearly much longer and have had time to refine things. I would argue their magic probably would work more similar to kind of thaumaturgy than Khaldunism.
Okay.
But there's also no reason that they couldn't have like
Crossover.
or they're just like sometimes
Parallel thinking.
Yeah, parallel thinking. So I was trying to think convergent evolution, and I was like, that's not quite right. Hold on, hold on. Okay, so other thing, I just wanted to add this because I thought it was cool, and also ties into the cultural ties with like astronomy and things that are very popular as a science form in this region of the world. Is called the Central Vault, and this is a grand room carved out of the mountain that shows the clear night sky upon its surface on the ceiling. So you can do astronomical space observation things.
That's neat.
All sorts of cool shit with that. And there is some NV5 current blood sorcery things about that are more Banu Haqim leaning that involve using like astrology and astronomy to either divine things from the stars or having a top-down scry view on other people. So I was like, oh, this is cool.
I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's also left unclear in the canon if the ceiling remains active during the daylight or not. So I'm like, well, if it's showing the sky in the vault, if a Banu were to force themselves to stay up during the day, could they go into the room and look at the sky during the day? Because it's technically not sunlight.
It's like a TV screen. Of
Yeah.
Would they... I bet, like, at least a couple times they'd have to roll Frenzy.
Just because their brain
They're
is like,
it's
sun!
the fucking sun! Yeah.
And you have to be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that trick you have to do the first several times you try to walk underwater and you have to like psychosomatic your brain into not thinking you're drowning.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't need to breathe. And but your lizard brain goes, Brit, air!
Put it in!
Put it in! Me!
And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Technically, I can't die
Yeah.
from that, but I would have died.
Yeah, but that's like such an ingrained survival thing. So if you want to add an interesting horror element at your tables, as long as no one has like a fear of drowning, that's an interesting thing to throw at the table.
I'll say drowning is fucking scary.
It is. It's bedtime. But yeah, the actual locale for the Vampire the Masquerade Alamut is left vague in the canon. Supposedly it's somewhere in Afghanistan, maybe. But it's not clear in some of the newer texts, because some of the newer texts that make it sound like it's in Jordan, which is very far away from Afghanistan. And I don't remember if Jordan has mountains. I didn't check. I didn't do my due diligence. I wrote a really big script, guys. That hurt my brain. So by the time I got to circling back on this, I didn't, and I fail you, and I'm sorry. Anyhow, yeah, so if you as a storyteller need Alamut to be in a specific place for whatever reason, sure, go for it. Or if you needed to use magic woodle plot bullshit for it to be in multiple places at once through a use of illusions, that's also valid. Plot device. Do with this what you're gonna do.
It looks like there are mountains in Jordan.
Okay, cool. It's still valid. Still valid.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot more mountains in the Middle East than you think there is. Every time you're like, I think there's not mountain here. There's probably.
Good chance.
There's a good chance. Yeah, so continue on. The Banu Haqim have remained mostly in Alamut and the surrounding territories for many, many, many centuries. Part of this is due to some of them liking it and just like, I'm in my lane, I'm gonna chill. And then the other part of it is kind of the wider political issues in the region, which if they tried to expand to the north and west into Europe, they just kind of ran into that wall of the Zamitzi.
Yeah,
and
it's just
the Zamitzi
unpleasant.
Just like, no.
I'll bet you stay down there.
I got mine. You fuck off.
Yep. I won't take yours if you don't try to come near mine.
Yeah.
But try to come near mine, I'm going to take yours.
Yeah, so that's just a whole... that is a whole back and forward issue.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then if they try to go south and east, that area was mostly controlled by lupines and changelings. So there's a lot of accounts of the Banu being like, yeah, we're going to explore here. And then they come back and they go, guys, that was a mistake. I got so fucked up. Holy shit. Don't do that.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess if, especially it's like, we could go that way. It's all werewolves.
Yeah.
Maybe not go that way.
Maybe not go that.
We'll go that way. Oh, there's just a fuck ton of like changelings and weird stuff like that.
Yeah. Some people are like, I'm gonna go study it. And they're like, cool. And then they're just gone. And you're like, well.
Well, maybe I won't do that then.
I guess we lost Layla. I don't know. Whoops.
Bye.
So, those who were not the Banu Haqim would come through this region often were judged and either eliminated on spot because they were terrible people, Or they were sent packing back to Europe because the Banu was like, get the fuck out of here. My house, fuck off.
That's fair. I don't want people in my house.
Yeah, there's like, who the fuck are you? Leave. There's the notes that the Toreador, the Nosferatu, Lasombra, Bruja, Ravnos, the Cappadocians were like the most often visitors in descending order. It's usually because the Toreador and the Viziers tend to vibe pretty
Makes
okay.
sense. They kind of serve similar functions.
Yeah.
Nosferatu are nerds too.
Nosferatu are nerds. Yeah.
They're also hunters.
Yeah. Lasombra, there's a whole lot of Lasombra in the Middle East, and
So they're just around.
they're just around. Bruja, the Bruja kind of go back and forth with the Banu Haqim of whether or not they're chill. Like, they both clans have senses of, like, honor and duty and justice. Just sometimes the Bruja have got, like, really big feelings about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Banu are just like, I don't.
We really don't need to go that hard right now, but
Bruh.
We can be chill about this.
Yeah, and then there's other times the Bruja's like, the Banu's got his fucking stick in the mud, Boy Scout rules. It's very Punisher Daredevil kind of dialogue problems.
when they do line up right,
Yeah, they get so much shit done.
yeah,
So much gets done. So many things happen. Ravnos just be traveling, and they're just like, yeah, hey,
yeah.
like, hi, you staying? No, okay, bye.
See ya.
Yeah, and Cappadocians was a bit of the dark horse one.
That one I was kind of surprised by.
I think that more has to do with the scholarly aspect and like maybe working with sorcerers on occasion.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You know, because Cappadocians have that whole going into the Shadowlands having to do with like wraiths, and if you dig down deep enough, there's demons and shit.
Yeah.
So occasionally, maybe one of them pops up and goes, "We're all clear on the Bali," and he's like, "Cool, bud."
Thanks.
Fucking weird face. Holy shit, that guy. Spooky every time they come up. Just pop up and go, hi, and you're just like, that's a skeleton.
Stop.
I wasn't ready for you. I was in my Roblox. I need to stop Tism coding the Banu so hard, but like, god damn it. You read through and you're just like, I think they all have a touch of the Tism. Fuck, man. Anyway, so, most of the conflicts that the Banu have for the longest period of time are with the Setites. Surprising no one. We talked about that on the Ministry episode if you want more details. As well, but yeah, so a lot of the conflicts that the Setites and the Banu Haqim have is usually through mortal proxies.
Okay, so they're not directly battling, but they're just kind of like, go deal with them.
Well, like, one-on-one, they're so diametrically opposed, like, in ideologies, typically, so they just don't get along. And what ends up happening a lot of the times is the Setites are trying to do some sort of political maneuvering, and the Banu tend to not want to engage. So they're like, well, I can't do vampire politics. He won't answer me. It's over there with his fucking bionicles. I'm just going to send a guy.
I have been on red for 3 decades now.
Tired of the shit.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah. So they'll send mortals to go do things, and then that upsets the Banu Haqim because they're just like, why are you involving people? Why? That's fucked up.
Because you're not answering my calls.
And I'm just like, you need to stop corrupting people. Like, the fuck? And he's like, dude, that's like literally my bag, though. You need to stop working with the fucking guys that are lying to you, man, about reality and the taboos and things. Like, these laws that you put upon yourself are just made up.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and the Banu's like, I'm just gonna stab. So that's their arguments in a nutshell for many centuries.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not even just like their civilizations that they've each built not getting along and them being involved. It's just they're like not wanting to be involved. And the Setites are like, hey.
Yeah, it's like you are literally the embodiment of forgetting the term, but the gods that are lying to you about reality. Yeah, it's like you guys are literally you guys are cops, man. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, what are they called?
It's been a couple months since I looked into it, but yeah, it's basically just the Setites just being like, fucking cops, get out of here. And the Banu are just like, you can't keep finger fucking people into insanity. Like, that's crazy, dog. Like, you can't just do that. And he's like,
I actually have already like 13 times. I can probably do it again.
Stop!
Wait, hold on, I'll show you.
No! Do not!
Oh, they must really hate the Malkavians, too.
No, there's a weird, like, kind of pass on the Malkavians, because usually the Malkavians are not, like, fucking up people's moral centers like that.
Yeah. It's mostly themselves.
Yeah, it's like, for the Malkavians, it's usually like a weird little mix of pity and also just like, okay, they are pulling pranks, but it's usually like to teach a lesson, so like...
And it's usually towards other Canaanites. Anyway.
Yeah, so there's kind of like, I guess... That's a weird way to go about it, my guy, but okay.
I don't like it, but I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
Have fun, little guy.
Yeah, I guess. Just ruffle their hair and just keep
Just don't hurt
going.
anybody.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Too much.
Don't make me come back here.
Yeah.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
So help me.
It's a lot of tired dad energy where they just are like, the Banu are just doing their own thing and they hear a crash in the background and they're like, what was that? Malkavian's like, nothing!
Any Canaanite clan, really.
Yeah.
Except the Setites, who are generally like,
We were just
that
like-
was me.
Yeah, Setite is like angsty teenager kid that's just like flicking a knife open and shut at the dinner table constantly, and just Bonner just like, oh my god, could you please just be normal?
Just put the knife down.
The
please.
meme from the Babadook's like, why can't you be normal? And Setite's just screaming.
A
God,
little
I hate
cocaine
that.
mustache.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, yet again, we have to deal with disappointed dad. So, over the centuries of just trying to maintain in their own lane, unfortunately, the Banu Haqim, the Childer, get involved in vampire politics during their traveling. And what ends up being the final straw is there's a faction of the Banu Haqim who get tied up into the Peloponnesian Wars. And some of them run back to Alamut to get Daddy Hakim to help, and the other higher up Banu Haqim, because they're like wrapped up in their own business too much to realize that this is a fucking silly thing to bring home. And then so many players involved in this conflict show up at Alamut. There's like a big fight where lots of people get murdered and slaughtered, including innocent mortals that just happen to be in the villages in the area. It's a big mess. And Hakim loses his fucking shit. He's done with everybody's bullshit. He is overstimmied. So he has a very well-documented rage fit where he just beats the shit out of a lot of people and then gives a final proclamation before fucking off. Which is where the one from the second reading from Wombat will go.
I won't sing this one for you guys.
Okay. Thank you for not singing.
Oh, ouch. You're welcome.
Cool.
I gave you the opportunity to rise above the petty treacheries at which Cain's lesser childer play, and you ever prove yourselves unworthy of that opportunity. I am as dutiful a father to my own children as any mortal child could ever ask of his sire, and you repay me by fighting amongst yourselves like starved, then scampering to me to beg my aid when the tide turns against you. Until I draw my spear from the black throne again, you will have no sire, and I have no children. Alamut is no longer my house, for you have left me no peace here. Hakim, Asamite Revised, page 18.
But thank you, Wombat, for your
for your-
musically beautiful voice reading.
Yes, of it's big dad energy. So this will bring us back to, is they alive or is they dead? Hakim is very much alive. He's one of the very few antediluvians we are 100% sure, like, yeah, he's up. He's up and doing things. What is he doing? Shrug.
Making falafel.
Probably.
I would love it if he was just like, I'm fucking done with all this. I'm fucking done. And then he just makes the best falafel joint on the ever.
He just keeps bouncing from different countries.
He's
Just
just so,
perfecting his falafel recipe.
he's
Yeah.
just so chill. He's still got enough humanity to eat.
Yeah.
I love this. So, in the canon, as far as I can tell, his last visit to Alamut, because after he had rage quit his own clan, he would occasionally just visit to be like, have you guys calmed the fuck down? Nope. All right, I'm fucking off.
When you figure it out, I'll
come back and
I'll come
run
back.
things, I guess. Oh, you're still being stupid? Okay. But yeah, his last visit to Alamut was 68 BCE.
Okay.
And he basically went to the Great Library, did a bunch of studying, looked really concerned, and then fucked off because Rome decided to invade and annex the Levant.
Oh.
So, the Roman Empire's expanding, and they showed up on his turf, and he went, close his book. And then he's just...
I guess I gotta go stab.
Never goes back home.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know what happened with that whole thing. Other than, a general understanding of Roman history did not go well for the Banu.
Yeah.
Haqim's last official sighting was in 121 Common Era in the British Isles. He was at a court having a philosophical discussion with Mithras, and I guess they're just friends.
Mithras is not a chill dude either.
No, he's not. I do like the idea of Haqim being there with his fucking eagle, though. Just chilling. They're just talking.
Yes.
They're just talking nerd bullshit.
I like it.
Haqim's trying to get Mithras into Bionicles. Mithras is not having it.
He's a Lego man. I want the blocks.
What's the blocks?
It's much more structured and rigid. You'd love it. Mithras, that is.
Which is extra funny because many centuries later, one of Haqim's childer ends up diablerizing Mithras.
Whoop!
Whoop! So, dramatic irony. But yeah, there's many rumors throughout the centuries of Haqim going up and just talking to a guy. But, like, he literally will wait until you are alone, show up and say something and leave. Maybe?
Thanks.
There might be people lying or people hallucinating.
Right.
Yeah, so he's up and doing stuff. No one knows what. I love the idea of him running a falafel cart. That sounds fantastic. So,
It's too good.
that's where that is. So major events for the Banu Haqim. The Banu tend to have a lot more care for the Parthian Empire as opposed to the Roman. Most vampires are like, fuck yeah, Rome. Rome is great. And the Banu were like,
Not so much.
yeah, they must have kind of hang out in like Iran.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of their thing. For those who don't know, the Parthian Empire was founded by Arsaces the First when he separated the region from the Seleucid Empire around 247 BCE, so before Jesus, a couple centuries before Jesus.
Jeebus.
Yes. And this initiated a revival in Iranian culture in the area, separating it from like the Hellenistic Greeks. That's where you get like a big bifurcation from the big expanses of the Greek Empire and Alexander the Great, and then you get Iranian culture, and then there's the ebbs and flows of times and histories. Parthian Empire is really cool. There's a lot of sick art. I recommend go looking that shit up. It's neat.
Yeah. Also, side note.
Yes.
I can't wait now that we're doing the NPC deep dives.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till we make Sarah do a deep dive on Jesus Christ in World of Darkness so that we can make you read the Bible and summarize the Bible.
No. I am the devil from the Bible.
A two-part episode where Sarah just reads the Bible to you. And then occasionally vampires show up.
I'm gonna have interpretations of the Bible that are gonna upset some folks, because I'm just gonna be like, the apostles and Jesus were all hella gay. I refuse to believe that was not a polycule.
I think it'd be really fun to have a completely above board reading of the Bible, but also just injecting the vampire stuff that's happening in the region around it as it happens.
Oh God, yeah. Well, then I also have to talk about like the Canaanite heresy, which is on the board of things to talk about in more depth. And fucking, it's gonna be a time. Anyways, Carthage. We're back at Carthage.
We could do that with other religions, but I feel like that's the one people will be the least mad about.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
we're all at least raised.
Oh yeah, no, we're culturally Christian. I'll make fun of things. I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
I'm also happy to talk about the Bible as a piece of literature, because as a piece of literature, it's really interesting.
And you have to do that before we can get into Gnosticism. And how else are we going to talk about mage?
Or true
Drugs. I'm waiting for the drugs. Speaking of the Bruja, Carthage. Trying to get there.
That's only one of them. Drugs only apply to one type of mage.
Other mages can do drugs.
They can
excuse
do
you.
drugs, but
It's not required.
some of them actually probably can't. So
That's fair. Okay, I'm trying to get back to Carthage. Get back on my bullshit. So Carthage was a major trade hub for the Banu Haqim. They were like the second most populous clan in Carthage outside of the Bruja. Period of time where the Bruja and the Banu were homies.
Nice. Good job, guys. Getting along.
Yeah, so the Carthaginian and Bruja welcomed the Banu in open arms in ways that the other clans didn't, so there's a big chunk of the reason why they were bros. Because, Banu Haqim were like, we have wares? Trade? And the other vampires were like, fuck off. It's like, shit, okay.
Okay, man. Sorry.
And then, sometimes vampires would go in their territory and they're like, there's no one here. Stab. It's very
Womp womp.
womp womp. Yeah, so they're just like, okay, the Brujas seem chill with us. Like, that's cool. We can exchange knowledge. We can trade goods. We can hang out. This is chill. Wow, you live in a city openly with mortals? That's cool. We actually, you know what? This seems like nice. This is cool. Why is it spicy? And then they slowly were like, oh, there's a rise of infernalism. The Bali yet again. Slowly rising up out of the fucking ethers. Like, haha, you thought you were done with me. And it's like, fucking stop. Stop it. It's like a cartoon between the Banu Haqim and the Bali, where they're just like...
It's like a whack-a-mole.
Fuck, yeah,
Yeah.
truly. So, the Infernalist influence through Carthage was a slow kind of creep of, like, tempting the weak-willed and the easily influenced and just kind of weaseling its way through the entirety, much like a cult, as you will.
Weird.
So, yeah, that was a problem. And some of the weaker Banu Haqim also kind of fell into this, but it wasn't like the clan as a whole, as other clans will want to say. We'll get into that later. But some of the Banu Haqim looked at this as an opportunity to go, oh, well, we're already in the city, and our job is to fight demons, so I guess we're supposed to free real estate. I guess we just fight the demons in the city? Cool. Like, we'll just do that. We're happy to do that. That's kind of our bag. And, there was the benefit of the Third Punic Wars from 149 to 146 BCE, and they're like, hey, there's a war? That means it's easier for us to kill demons. I don't have to be all stealthy and shit. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. So, when the Roman Venture Malkavians and Toreador showed up to Carthage, the Banu that were fighting the demons was like, oh, thank God! Yay, back up! We're here to kill the why are you stabbing me? What the fuck? Because the Roman vampires did not look at any of the Carthaginians with any... They just saw... They're like, look, we're pissed that we have to come to your house and take your house. Fuck you. And there's demons here. Fuck off. All of you are dead. And there's a lot of the Banu that are like, we were fighting the demons the whole time. The fuck?
Why didn't you help us?
Why aren't you helping? There's even Banu that were like, we were actively helping you win this war, and now you're slaughtering us. Why? What the fuck? So there's a lot of Banu who still hold grudges about that because of the, mass wholesale slaughter of their people that were actually trying to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then their names being besmirched throughout history as being infernalists when they weren't being.
Right.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So that might be a sore spot for in-character drama if that's a thing you want to bring up in your game. Has no parallels to things in common life. Anyways, so Rome continued to expand after Carthage fell, and the clan, the Banu Haqim, sought to support mortal political and military forces within the region because they're just like, hey, we've been here, we live here. Why are you in my house? The fuck? And Rome's just like, well, we beat the Brujas, so this is all ours now. And the Banu are like, I live here. The fuck? So there's that many centuries of fun.
That is my couch.
That is, in fact, my couch.
That is my painting.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for these things. It's my house.
Yeah.
I don't see you sleeping on it.
I was.
Oh, God. And then, we have the inevitable, as Rome falls apart at the seam into the 2 and 3 and several pieces over several centuries, the Banu opened trade lines with the leadership in China and India, while also doing mercenary work for their European counterparts. Because they're just like, on their eastern front, they're like, oh, hey, there's like Ravnas over here that are kind of chill, and then there's these other guys that they say they're fighting demons, squinty eyes. Okay, we'll trade.
Okay, yeah.
Because, the Quaisian are a little kame, little combi. They're just like, shifty, but if you're also fighting demons, we can trade.
Here's my stabby.
Thank you for your stabby. Yeah. And then, many, many centuries of Europeans being like, oh, this is political. I am an honorable man that fights on the battlefields. Oh, no, Arthur got stabbed. How dreadful. Shoves gold at another guy. Don't worry about it. That was a big problem. The empire politics is... Somebody's like, I need this man dead. I'm going to pay this Banu Haqim because he'll get the job done. Yes, I did a Chapel Roan reference. Anyways,
Nice.
Yes.
I didn't catch it because
That's
I've never
okay.
heard anything.
It's a fun song.
Nice.
It's about being a top as a lesbian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it's a country song.
Oh, well, I lost
Oh.
interest.
It's fun.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy it.
Cool.
You can have fun.
I can have fun. That's true. Anyways, so this became such a problem that there was disagreements within the Banu Haqim about like how much mercenary work they should be doing. And it's also where we get the origins of the sire tithing thing, which is super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Banu Haqim are sass queens.
Right.
So there's a gentleman known as Mahara. He was a spearmaster from Ethiopia, and it is said that he was so disgusted by his childers like constantly doing blood contracts that he is quoted as saying,
Oh shit, I don't have it open. Hold on.
John,
I was looking at another thing. Now it won't let me scroll.
was it Bionicles?
Maybe.
I'm just outing the man.
Secretly, every time we've brought up Bionicles, we were really just targeted making fun of him.
It's true.
A little bit.
Okay, found it.
Yes.
It says, if you must sell yourself so cheaply, the least you can do is send me a portion of the gold you will earn, that I may be compensated in some small measure for the curse of undeath that you whore for no good cause. Damn.
Right?
Damn.
Damn. Yeah. So basically his children went, all right, but
They weren't like, oh, sorry, Dad, we get the lesson. They were like, all right, I'll just charge a little bit more. That's cool.
yeah. And apparently just got around with the other Banu being like, oh yeah, they realized like, oh, this is a way that I could like curry favor with some of the elders in the clan, as well as like show appreciation to my sire for, you know, spending all the time and investment and training with me and da-da-da-da. So then it just became a custom in the clan.
I love
All
that.
So it's a tradition out of spite.
That's funny.
Which is super funny. Yeah, God, just if you got some spare time, just read through the Banu Haqim books, because god damn it, there were so many times where you're just like, these little sass queens just sniping the fuck out of each other, and like everybody's at threat. It's so good. Also, speaking of what also is good, is the glorious light of Islam.
Oh, yeah.
So, once there was a little orphan from Mecca who grew up to lead one of the largest religious movements known to man in the early 600 CE.
That's neat.
Yes. That I think I just summed up the beginning of Islam in a sentence. I think I did it.
Good work.
Hey yo. There's a lot of cool history involved with that. There's a lot of cool documentations. I'm not Muslim. I'm not any kind of Islamic scholar. If you want to go research that, there's loads of people that have way more expertise than me.
It's cool stuff.
It's cool stuff. Go check it out. At least in terms of getting a rough basis on what is going on in this part of the world of the regions. When Muhammad passes, peace be upon him, there is a series of caliphates, and caliphates essentially it's just empires. Just think of it like that. It's nothing extra spooky. So the first one that happens is the Rashidun, which immediately follows the death of Muhammad, and then you have the Umayyad Caliphate, which became one of the largest empires in history, and they expanded really fast. Like, it's insane to watch just the map go, whoop, like, literally from Spain to, like, halfway across India. Like, the whole region. It's bananas.
Yeah.
It is. Kind of leads to an interesting history, where they, this Arab empire comes up very quickly, and they go, we've conquered a bunch of shit. I have no idea how to run things. Hey, you guys here, you know how to run your town, so just pay us taxes, and you can just keep doing what you're doing. It's very funny. Like, to the point that from my understanding, there's parts of the Umayyad Caliphate where they expanded so fast, they didn't have their own mint for coins, so they just kept using Roman coins and just stamped the other side. So there's coins from this time period where it's like Roman on one side and then the Caliphate stuff on the other side.
That's funny.
Because they're just like, shit, we went too fast.
We'll do this.
Yeah. Just quick, solve the problem.
I love it.
So, fascinating, fun part of history. And then there's the Abbasid Caliphate, who overthrew the Umayyads, and that started the what is known as the Golden Age of Islam, which has the founding of Baghdad, has the Great Library of Baghdad, and is the beginning and the home of many great thinkers and scholars from human history. It's bananas, the amount of shit that is actually discovered in this culture and in this time period that we in the Eurocentric countries just forget about, like washing your fucking hands, algebra. I'm forgetting the name of the scholar, but there's a gentleman who proposed a theorem, like, and mathematically proved a heliocentric universe like 600 years before Copernicus.
Oh.
Yeah, like doing wild science things that
Yeah.
you're like, this is cool as shit. So if that's a hyperfixation thing that you find interesting, there's a bunch of shit. It's really cool. I believe we talked about one of the scholars in the blood resonance episodes.
think so.
Yeah,
It's been a little bit.
yeah. I'm forgetting his name. I'm bad with names. But I talked about one of their scholars because he was like, honestly, should be considered more of the foundation for modern medicine.
Oh, yeah.
But he came up with his own, like, blood resonance chart, and I offered that as an alternative for, like, hey, if you want to mix things up a bit for your table, check this out.
Now I remember that.
Yeah. Pulling back from the way back episodes, which I think that document is still a freebie on our itch.io folder if you want to grab it for a resource.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, in terms of the Vampire the Masquerade side of this equation, while the Banu have always had a wide array of beliefs within the ranks, Judaism, various forms of polytheistic pagan pantheon, Zoroastrianism being the most common. The tenets of Islam and the ways that Muhammad taught the word of Allah to people aligned very neatly with a lot of the principles instilled by Hakim, to the point that several within the clan claimed the faith as Hakim's will or some sort of path of redemption for their past failings.
Huh.
So that's part of the reason why the Banu Haqim just jump onto being Muslims so hard.
Right.
Is a lot of them just go, the
Oh, it's
synergy.
Dad's.
It's Dad.
Yeah.
Or, like, Dad thinks this is cool, or, like, some of the Banu think that, like, Hakim converts to Islam. There's no proof that he did.
Right.
But they're just like, well, maybe Hakim got enlightenment from God because what Hakim has said is lined so much with what Muhammad got through Gabriel. Lots of schools of thoughts there. Run with that how you want at your table. But that's why there's such a synergy there. And that will lead to problems later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And also because of this, like, link up between the Banu Hakim's internal senses of morals and ethics and Islam, that's why in the Ashira there's such a big amount of Banu Hakim in there. Because the Ashira is just Muslim-based culturally, religiously, so, yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, there's been, I've seen in the community some confusion of folks conflating the Ashira as being the organization the Banu Hakim run, and I'm like, no, they're just a big part of it, but the Ashira is its own institution. That would be kind of the equivalent of saying, oh yeah, the Camarilla is just the Ventru, and I'm like, no.
The Camarilla, the organization the Ventru run.
Yeah, and it's like, no.
The Anarchs, the organization the Bruja run.
Yeah, no. That's bad. I guess it's the Mitzi run it now? Question mark.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I guess
We always have.
the old stereotype would have been La Sombra, but
yeah.
they're
But the Sombra are
partially
kind of
out.
like, we're doing our own thing. I guess we're in the Camarilla.
meta plot stuff for later.
Plot. Don't worry about it.
It's
It's fine.
unfortunate. I wonder if that's part of the reason that the Sabbat has, like, started falling apart even more, like, since the La Sombra left. They were the, like, look, we're taking care of this shit. And then they leave, and the Zamitzi are like, okay, look, this is mine. Go figure it out, guys.
Strap
and then
in
back
for
to their...
part 2 of this series.
Oh, hell yeah, okay.
And also, kind of, we talked about in our Zamitzi episode, they just want to, so a lot of them just want
Right.
to own something.
Exactly. Don't
They
care
don't-
about maintaining it.
Yeah, they're just like, this is mine now. I won. Onto something else.
Yep.
So the Sabbat literally fell apart because the people who run it just don't
Don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. Strap in for part 2 of the history.
Whee!
Put a pin in it. Yeah. So then we have Chorzan and the Thirst.
Isn't that a demon?
It's also a city.
Oh, no, it's Koranzin. That's
Corazon.
the
Yeah,
demon.
yeah.
There's another N
It's
in there.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, yet another uprising of the Bali in the Levant area. Dude, fucking goddamn it.
Of course.
Yeah. So, the defeat of the Bali at the city of Khorasan led to the diablerie compulsion that spread amongst the warriors. So this is the diablerie compulsion is not something that was inherent to the clan from the beginning. This was just a final fuck you from some Bali during this conflict.
Was this like a curse?
Yep.
Okay, good stuff.
Yep. And it's something that, like, the clan's been trying to work on for centuries, but they're just like, fuck, why?
Right.
And it's...
I mean, it's demon magic. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And it's not helped by it. It seems to also have like this kind of corrupting thing. So some folks who like lean into it might lean into it a little too much because they like it, which makes it harder to solve. When the guys who are into it are the punchy, stabby ones, and you're a nerd being like, just fucking stop. And he's like, shut up, nerd, punch.
Yay.
Put a pin in that. It'll come back later. There's also the Crusades.
Oh. That is not so much of a we.
No, that was a no good, very bad, awful time.
Yeah.
The Crusades were so bad for folks on the Middle Eastern front of that conflict that the Setites and the Banu put their shit aside.
Damn.
So they could, like, try to defend their homeland.
That's wild.
That's how bad it was for them. It was like, we gotta...
I love the idea of the Setites, like, in their temple doing whatever, you know. And I know that this is not possible because they didn't have these technologies. But sitting there doing his whatever, you know, like, finger fucking somebody doing sanity or whatever. And then his phone dings, he looks at it and goes, oh, shit! He responded!
He finally responded! Yay!
All right, cool, let's go!
That could have literally happened, but it was just like a carrier pigeon.
Right, yeah. And then, oh, shit, it's time to go!
And was like, oh, shit! Oh, no, what happened?
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I was like, I've been finger blasting so many maidens, I've lost track. That's what that noise was outside. Ah, shit. Damn.
I guess, I'll be back, ladies.
This is insane. This type we've made up. This is bananas.
Not a good person.
Not a good, absolute fuckboy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the worst kind of fuckboy, where it's like, oh, no, he's gonna take, no, you're gonna come. It's gonna be really good, but you're gonna lose part of your soul, like, every time.
Literally.
Literally. Also, there's now a snake. It's weird.
Like, the rest of your life will be dedicated to undoing whatever happened here.
Yeah. But
hey,
you may have found a mote of enlightenment. It's almost Lovecraftian, like how good this man is. And Banu's
you
just,
see through space and time.
yeah. Banu's on the other side, just arms folded, shaking his head like, no.
Please stop, guys.
Please. Is it really
At least
worth,
close the door.
is it worth your soul? Is it? I'm gonna go back to reading my hadiths. Anyways.
Over his shoulder, said it's like, whatever, nerd.
I mean, basically.
Anyway,
So-
these crusades.
Yeah, so the Bali curse also became stronger with each passing crusade, leaving the warrior class racked with this weird level of aggression and desire to consume.
Yeah.
And it kind of like spurs on a lot of the internal radicalization that like starts to happen within the cast of the warriors, which leaves the viziers and the sorcerers like barely able to keep the warriors in check.
Right.
Because they're just like, you need to calm down, and he's like, justice! And you're just like,
okay, that's fine, but you need to chill and
just do talking shit. He's like, no.
Just a room full of punishers.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it's a room where, like, for every 5 punishers, there's 1 daredevil. You know? And it's just like, son of a... I'm so tired. And I don't have a foggy.
Oh.
Because he's off doing some weird wizard shit. I don't know. So, this can be said as kind of the origins of where, like, the web of knives kind of starts, and then eventually will become the Shepherds of Roshagi. So this shift in the meta plot, like, is been going on and starting centuries ago.
Right.
And then when it catches up, you just go, oh, fuck.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a great time. Speaking of other great times, the first Anarch revolts.
Whee!
Ew, let's go. So many of the Banu Haqim saw the Anarch revolt as an opportune moment to get justice for all of the strife their people have been put through from the European vampires. They just went, oh, the girls are fighting? Hey guys, the girls are fighting. Let's make it worse.
I picked a side. Let's go.
Yeah. There is note of the Caliph, who, for those who haven't heard it or don't remember, in the structure of the Banu Haqim at this point, you have the eldest, who's the big boy in charge, and then you have the Duat Council, which is the head of each of the castes. The Caliph is the warrior leader.
Done.
In this time period, the Caliph is named Jamal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jamal was sent by the eldest to go fight Dracula, specifically.
Oh, what?
Yeah. He's been 100 years trying to fight that man. And then returned to Alamut scarred, which is impressive for a vampire. They're like,
Yeah.
he came back all fucked up. and basically had the equivalent of we need a bigger boat. So he tried real hard. He's like, damn, Dracula got hands, though. Fuck. This sucks.
Thought he was an old man.
Yeah, this is how we can do this. And just, I don't know what that man's been doing, but okay.
His push-up game must be nuts.
Yeah. He's like I said, he's got hands. What do you mean? No, like, there's so many hands.
Enough that he can literally throw them.
Yeah, it was horrifying. Anyways, many of the Banu Haqim warriors traveled to Europe to not only aid the revolts, but also to teach their leaders tactics as military advisors. Which is also partially what led to a lot of the Camarilla vampires being like, oh, the Banu Haqim are just stab men, and that's all they do. They're psychos.
Dang.
Yeah, what are the olds now? Were the youngs then, and the youngs had no reference. Like, they were like, we haven't seen a vizier. We don't know what the fuck that is. They have no concept of sorcerers at this point.
Right.
Because they're all in Alamut. So they just see, yeah, so, fucking, Khalid Knife Hands is showing up and doing a stab. I guess the whole clan is stab.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
The stabbers.
Yeah, I'm not saying
I guess I should get a knife?
Do I get a knife? Can I hire a different Khalid? I just hired Khalid. He just stabbed me. Can you stab him?
Can you hire a Banu to kill or protect you from another Banu who's been hired to kill you?
If you pay enough, probably. Because you'd probably have to have a contract with the Cisalis guy, so the Abacus guy comes over and goes, oh, you want to protect it, huh? Okay, it's going to cost this much. And then
it's from one of us.
Yeah. That's
going to cost this much.
Yeah. And what the Cisalis guys does tell the European guys, he goes back, it's the same, it's just Khalid. It's like, hey man, I got the funniest idea. Hear me out.
But that also puts you on the list where you're safe.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So it's kind of worth the extra money.
I like
yeah,
it.
It's like, look, just humor me. We're going to get such a payout.
And you can follow him around to get info.
Now, this is a yearly subscription. You're aware of that?
Yearly subscription? No! Fucking the Banu Haqim trying to loot box their way into getting revenge. That's so funny. I hate it. So, all these machinations culminate in Etrius of Clan Tremere. If everybody remembers, he is the bear of our little gay triad. He decided he didn't decide so much as he was the more political mover shaker out of Tremere and Gortrix and himself. So what he did was he spun this whole yarn with European vampires, causing a mass panic that the entirety of the Banu Haqim were Diablerous psychos that were coming to Europe to murder everyone.
Oh, that's probably not accurate.
Yeah, you're right. It was not accurate, but he was quoted as saying,
they are killers. Nothing more. And anything else they might have been died long ago, presumably by their own hands.
Yeah.
That's also from Asimite Revised. Page 25.
It's very funny the amount of fucking receipts the Banu Haqim have about everybody's bullshit.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. So as of 1486, a blood hunt was levied against the entirety of the Banu Haqim.
Fuck.
By the clans that would later become the Camarillas. They hadn't quite formed the Camarilla yet. They were kind of working on it. But all of Europe went, fuck these 6 fish in particular.
Damn.
And as far as I'm aware in the vampire canon, this is the only time an entire clan has been put on a blood hunt list.
That's wild.
And that is where we're going to leave off.
That is quite the hanger.
Yes. I thought it was dramatic.
This is good.
So before we get into part 2,
Yes.
go to your
part 3.
Yeah, part 3, part 2 of history, part 3
of the Banu. Yes.
Go onto your favorite sports betting app. None of us are paying us yet, so I won't name any, but go on and place your bet on how many times you think the Bali are going to come back in the second half. What's the over-under on that?
I promise you guys it's going to be more than you think.
See, I just imagined it was once, and then they just, kind of just didn't stop. You know? I know that they've been doing the whack-a-mole thing.
Yeah.
But just like with any other infestation, you know, if you leave it there long enough, it's going to spread, and then you think you wipe it out, but it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's why if you get mold in the tub, you got to, actually scrape all of the caulking out. Otherwise, it's going to just, come back. Yeah. You got to do a clean wipe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wipe the board clean.
Speaking of a clean wipe, thanks Paralyze for the music. I don't know where that segue was going. I'm so sorry.
Usually you're pretty good at segues.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it very well. Sorry.
Look, I got up early to go get a health screening because
Yay!
Taking care of yourself is important, both mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah!
Be cool and get regular STI screenings.
Yeah!
Yeah! Also, get your COVID boosters.
Yeah!
There's still a plague happening.
I had to get up early so I could take my dog to the vet because her butt's looking weird.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
I'm chill.
If you want to give your condolences to Skipper's dog's butt, we do have social medias.
Yeah.
You
Go
can give...
post about his dog's ass.
Yeah.
I won't post a picture, don't worry.
Don't, no, that would be
Yeah.
so sad.
No.
Though, if
Not
you,
even
if
sad.
you get the little
It's
body,
gross.
Knowing the situation, it's not sad. It's unpleasant.
yeah. But if you do have to put Nyx in a little onesie for their own protection, do post photos of that. That
I
will
will.
be cute.
That would be cute. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
She will have a please get this off of me face probably, but
Yeah.
those are still kind of cute sometimes.
Yeah, but we exist on Instagram at Blank Bodies Pod, TikTok at Blank Bodies Podcast, Blue Sky at Blank Bodies Pod. If you go to blankbodies.com, we still have the link up for our pre-orders for merch stuff. We are going to be closing that by the end of the week of part 3. So next week, Friday?
Sure.
Yeah.
Next week, Friday, we're going to call it.
So with
So if you want to order our glorious podcast logo or the super fun and girly pop Thaumatusy shirts, order now, quick.
Honestly, the Thaumatus shirts I like a lot more than I expected. When
Right?
I finally saw them in real life, I was like, oh, okay, these
Yes.
are
I get
fun.
it now.
Yeah,
these are good.
Yeah. And we do have limited edition color options on the Thaumatusy shirt because I could not get people to tell me if they wanted hot pink on black or hot pink on lavender. It was always like a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
So we
As
have
always.
both options,
Nice.
and whichever one of those sells more will be in the shop permanently.
Woo!
So some of you might be getting a limited edition shirt.
Woo!
Woohoo! Yeah, if you want to throw more doll hairs at us because you appreciate our work, we do have a Patreon. You get titles for stuff in the community Discord. The community Discord is free.
Yes.
We also have a couple of secret channels that we talk with the patrons about how we're running the show and doing stuff. We also have polls to decide on how we're doing the show. Hunter should have up the next clan poll next week.
Yeah, it's gonna go up with the final episode of the Banu Part 3 History 2.
Nice.
Hell yes. And we appreciate your support. It's allowed us to get research books and upgrade equipment and be able to do the merch pre-orders and allow us to be able to hi, we're going to be at Gen Con doing a
Yeah.
live show.
This will be our third year.
Live show.
This will be our live show 3rd year. If you are a patron, I have a message for you about Gen Con and the Patreon channel. Go fucking check it out and follow the goddamn directions, please. Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh, I
Ooh.
should go read that.
You should.
I won't follow the directions though.
Well, you're not on the Patreon. You don't pay for the show.
I mean,
You are the show.
You are the show,
That's
sir.
Yes.
I paid for it initially.
That's true. You did. We all did.
Yeah.
If you are somebody involved in the gaming community or the goth community or the horror community and you want to talk to us about any cool projects you are doing, we have an interview series. We would love to talk to you about your cool projects, be it art or music or cosplay or LARPing or game orgs, game dev. Lots of options.
Yeah.
We just like talking to people about cool stuff.
We
Mhm.
love to chat.
Fuck yeah.
Chatting is good.
Chatty Cathy's.
And if you can't get enough of my beautiful voice, we have a new show on the network.
Ew.
It's called Stinky Gamer Pleasure Dome, and we just put out our first episode about the 1997 shooter Blood. And you have 2 weeks, about a week and a half, whatever, to play Marathon, Bungie's first game, the company that went on to play Halo. That's going to be our new episode. We got a channel in the Blank Bodies Discord. You can hang out, talk about the game as you play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, so the format for Stinky Gamer Pleasure Dome is like a book club where you give the audience 2 weeks to try out playing a game, and then you and John the Third will talk about the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Ayo.
And we chat throughout the week in the chat if people are playing along with us, so you can chat about playing it. And we usually focus on about the first 2 hours of the game-ish,
Mhm.
unless it's a really short game. But
Ayo.
just so, you're not expected to devote a ton of hours to the game to keep up with what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And also avoid spoilers for people who get real into games if it's a more story-based game.
Nice.
Yo. Hell yeah. I'll have another project soon. Beware.
Watch out. She's coming for your ears.
Stabicus. I'm not allowed the Stabicus. We already agreed I'm in the Sorcerer cast. I got problems.
This is unrelated, but I looked at John's Discord and I'm terrified by the amount of unread notifications I'm seeing.
Oh, my lad.
Yeah.
Oh, some of those are in the hundreds.
Oh, Jesus Christ, John. You might need to kiss us out so you can go respond to people.
I'm not going to do that. There's another one. Oh, that's the health one, though.
You can literally just right-click and then turn those off.
Yeah, I kind of just want to let it sit.
Okay, let it ride.
Yeah, I want to kind of see how far it'll
I'm
go.
getting secondhand anxiety.
If I can get, like, one of these servers to have 999, because I assume that's going to stop at that, right? It probably won't go to a fourth digit.
I don't know. We'll find
Probably.
out. There's
Yeah.
only one way to find out. I'm going to ping you more often.
Okay,
Oh,
deal.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, but hold on, wait. You guys listening, please don't ping me all that often. All right, anyway, I'm leaving.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
Goodbye.
bye.
I
Goodbye.
live here, so I'm staying.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
yeah, I'm not actually leaving yet.
Time
But I'm
for
leaving
chicken.
this
Time
recording.
for chicken.
Chicken.